Hello, everyone. It's me, Yanni from Yanni's Nerdverse,
Hey everybody, it's me, Emmet, isuperebba here.
And it's Roman's Empire.
and this is our official announcement that we are starting a podcast together. We This is in the very early stages. We don't have an official name yet, but we are hoping that this will be a weekly thing where we talk about nerd news, stuff in the Marvel, DC, pop culture, gaming, whatever, and we're just gonna talk about it and give our opinions on it. And so for this episode, what it's going to start out is that we're going to do a recap of all the major nerd news that announcements that dropped this week, and at the very end, we are going to talk about the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special. We'll all talk about it in spoilers, and we'll talk about it like what our final number review is and what we thought of it overall. So to start us off, I will talk about the Scarlet and Violet release specifically because it was came out with some backlash, and that being is very buggy. It is very buggy, and I know you two have played it a lot. It seems like you guys have talked about it on Twitter. So what have you guys thought?
I've played it way too much for it being out for only a week. And the worst part about like all the performance issues is the game itself is so fun. Like it's all I've ever wanted in a Pokemon game, an open world game. No, like it should be perfect on paper, but it's just bogged down by all of the technical issues. And on top of that, they made so many weird changes that I just can't get behind. There's just so many little things that are changed. But Rome, what do you think?
It's funny that you say like it's everything you want in a game because I agree with that. I think it's the best Pokemon game since personally for me Black 2, White 2. I know that's a bold statement, but the weirdest thing I went through the bug of I don't know if you went through this, but right when I started my game, I picked my skin color and all of that for my character, right? And I had it like a tannish color, right? Not white, not dark. But right when I walked out of my mom's house, my character and every other character in the game, their skin went dark. Just completely is the weirdest glitch I've ever seen. That everybody went dark, like kind of like unrealistically dark as well. And I was like, what the heck? So I just reset my game and it fixed. But that's the only bug I've actually ran into.
Oh
But
wow.
yeah, which is strange because I see everybody online talking about all of the other bugs, but I haven't played it as much. So I'm sure I'll run into some other stuff later.
As far as like bugs go, the only thing I've really had, I went under the map once for a little bit, just hanging out in the middle of a battle, but it's just like the frame rates just are brutal for me. That's my
Yeah.
biggest
Is it
thing.
drop below like 30 frames or 15 frames or whatever? Like it gets
For
super glitchy.
for me, it's gone down to like maybe 10. And like,
Oh,
have you seen the scene in the school where like there's kids in the background moving around and they're at like maybe 2 frames a second?
Oh my god.
yeah,
It's
I've
so
seen that.
funny. Yeah.
But Emmet, you
Oh
did
my God.
mention that like there are a lot of things that make it your favorite game. But then also there's like some small changes they made that you can't get behind. So what are some of those small changes?
Like, okay, you can't go inside any houses. There's like you can't go in any
Oh,
NPC houses to talk to them. I've always done that in every Pokemon game. You go in, you talk to them, maybe you get an item here and there. Nada. Absolutely nothing. Even stores and stuff, you don't actually go inside. You walk in the door and a menu pops up. There's no like interiors. And like I just feel like that's kind of lazy. I don't know. I'm not a developer or anything, but what else? There's a lot of little things like that that just kind of grind my gears. And the crazy thing about all this is like everyone has been talking about the performance stuff. It is the biggest exclusive launch of all time
I
in the
saw
history of
that the other day.
anything. Like it's no wonder Game Freak isn't, reinventing the wheel. I can't even blame them at this point.
You know, it's crazy because like I always tell my friend like whenever like we talk about whatever negative Pokemon news is out because there's always something wrong. I'm like, oh, they're just a small indie developer. Yeah, no, but Game Freak is like this giant. They have so many resources controlling one of the most popular IPs and most successful IPs, but they're just I don't want to call them lazy, but like there's just something that
Yeah,
they like they're very slow with their progress, but I also get why because we're all the problem. We still support them
yeah,
no matter
exactly.
what. Yeah.
They're
It's
always.
funny. Oh, you
Oh
want to
no, you
go?
go ahead. You go ahead.
Oh no. it's funny that like you talk about Game Freak in general, but I don't even think it's just a Game Freak thing. I think it's Nintendo as well. If you look at like most of the recent releases, even Animal Crossing, which I love, there's elements in that game that are missing from Animal Crossing from the GameCube. And I think it's more so it's like Nintendo knows that they're this icon, same with Game Freak, that whatever they'll make, people are going to buy. So I don't think it's laziness, but in a way, I think it's also like pride, and it's also like we can do this kind of thing because you don't see people allowing Xbox or Sony, like Microsoft or Sony, to get away with doing things like this. If the new
100%.
God of War had any problem at all, any issue, we would have heard it day zero. It wouldn't have mattered.
For sure. And like the thing is, I agree with what you said. And Nintendo, like, they would never release like a Mario or Zelda or Smash Brothers game in like the state of Scarlet and Violet. So I just like normally with Nintendo you have like a level of polish. But like you said with Animal Crossing and Scarlet and Violet, not that they're on like the same level of glitchiness or anything, but
No, not
I
at all.
they just need to like go back to that top tier quality that they were known for.
Now, would you guys still recommend someone buy it or not? Or because like I was fully planning on buying it, but now I think I'm gonna wait until maybe the glitches are fixed. And if not, I've actually not played Arceus yet, so I might play Arceus
Mm,
instead. But so would you guys still recommend it to someone with all the glitches or no?
I would play Arceus first, honestly. In my opinion, the gameplay of that is just much faster as well. So you'd actually probably finish that before they patch the glitches for Scarlet and Violet. That's what I'd say.
I agree 100%. Arceus might be my favorite Pokemon game ever. Like I feel like they did everything great. I think you should definitely go with that one.
Roman, you mentioned that Chris Hemsworth was looking to go into is looking to go into a new direction if he comes back from Thor 5. Of course, it's been announced that he sadly is at risk for Alzheimer's, so he's gonna be dialing back on acting. So he's mentioned if he comes back for Thor, he wants it to be something drastically different. What would you guys like to see from Thor in the MCU? Do you guys want to keep it in the similar vein of Ragnarok and Love and Thunder? Do you want to go back to a more gritty roots kind of like Thor 1 in Dark World? Is there a completely new direction? What are you guys thinking? Roman, why don't you start us out?
Yeah, I've actually been thinking about this ever since he said that because I've been very vocal online. Even my TikTok followers know how much I hate Love and Thunder. That's
Me
just for
too.
me. But yeah, it's just not. I don't even want to watch it again as compared to the other Thors. But I think personally, the direction that the Russo brothers took him in Infinity War, I think that is the most perfect like rendition of Thor we got. While Ragnarok was he was still silly and serious at the same time. Love and Thunder, they just went off on his silliness. But Infinity War, he had his very like funny moments. Like there were moments that were very like witty with Thor. And I think as compared to Thor being dumb and foolish, childish in a way, I think he's matured enough in the MCU that he should be that Infinity War witty type Thor. That his remarks are funny, maybe fun quips, as like Iron Man used to do. But Thor in Infinity War was very, very serious at the same time. That they found, I don't know how the Russo brothers did it, but they found this perfect like combination to make Thor a threat also because in my honest opinion, Thor hasn't felt like a threat in the MCU since Infinity War. And Thor should be one of the most powerful characters in the MCU. I would want to see I wanted to see Taika come back because I do believe he cares about the character, but there was some sort of disconnect in Love and Thunder. But when he comes back, I want him to keep the more serious Thor. Maybe Hercules shows up. And I think that might be a perfect kind of God of War type thing where you got Thor and Hercules fighting against each other. And it seems like Hercules is going to be pretty serious. So give him that. Don't have him be gritty like in the first two Thors, but have him have some sort of he has a mission. He has something he needs to do. Maybe give him the Odin Force I don't know what it is, but they just need to stay away from the childish Thor altogether.
Yeah, I would kind of agree with you because I think especially looking at Love and Thunder, I know I actually Emmet, I'm not sure what you think about the movie, but I also it is probably one of my least. Oh wait, okay, yeah, it is one of my least favorite as well. Like it is one of the few Marvel movies that I did not rewatch in theaters. I almost always rewatch at least one time in theaters. I didn't. Only seen the movie once. Um, but I like the idea of going in the sort of more gritty direction, like a little more serious, and dialing it back from the goofiness because, especially with that movie, which one of the source materials that it draws from was Thor: God of Thunder, I believe it's called, with gore and everything, and that's a great book, and it's a really good story with gore and Thor, and it does crazy stuff. But the movie kind of dropped all of that. It dropped like Gore being the actual butcher, and it dropped Thor like becoming super powerful at the end and the final battle and all that crazy stuff. And I'd love to see like his powerful side again. I'd love to see the more serious side more. So I totally agree with everything going the direction. And it would be fun to see Hercules too because I love the actor. I'm blanking on his name from Ted Lasso. That was such a great reveal that I didn't even know was coming.
Yeah.
So I'd love everything about that. What
I
about
I I agree 100%. You guys know me pretty well at this point, so you know that it's like very hard for me to dislike a movie. 90% of movies I see, I'm like, that was the best thing ever.
right?
Love and Thunder was not that at all. It didn't hit for me, and I just like you both said, Infinity War Thor is perfect. He's serious. He's funny, but most of the humor comes from like other people bouncing off of him and like him being kind of, not dumb, but like just different, like Asgard culture, whatever.
Mhm.
And like he's just, I don't want another Thor movie of him finding himself. I feel like we've gotten that a couple times now. I want to see a confident, matured Thor, maybe trying. I don't know what I want to see him do. I just want to see him with love now.
Yeah, I'm a
Uh,
sucker for
I
cute stuff. I would love to see him and his daughter going around the galaxy saving people. I thought
The
it'd be so
potential
cute, so fun.
is there. I feel like there's so much potential there. I want not Love and Thunder Thor ultimately.
I think that they're setting up. It's weird to say this too. Like I said, God of War, but it feels very similar to what they're doing to God of War, just with Thor. Thor in love instead.
Oh,
Because if,
that's a good
like I said, if
observation.
Hercules does come after him, what, what is this? Is Thor going after Kratos? So it's I don't know. I think it's a classic story that people can like. We see that all the time, like you said, the father and the child, going off on their own adventure. It's been done before, but if I know from what I've seen from Marvel in the past, they can make it original. They can.
Couple more Marvel stuff on the docket. We had some, I'll say like rumored Thunderbolts leaks. And it's that the supposed villain of the movie is going to be either Hyperion or I forget the other character that I'm blanking on the name.
Century,
And
Century.
Sentry,
century.
thank you. And it's supposed to be one of the two. Because it was supposedly first was Hyperion, but then everyone's like, no, Hyperion's going to be in a different movie, but Sentry's going to be in this one. What do you guys think about the plot? I think it sounds really cool. It sounds pretty much exactly like the original Suicide Squad plot leak, but then there's some other stuff too that they might be dealing with Wakanda and stealing vibranium or something along the lines of that. What do you guys think about this movie? What do you guys think about the docket so far and the leaks?
I'm giving myself the nickname of like the biggest Thunderbolts movie fan. I'm so excited for this movie. But what are they gonna do against Sentry? Like and Wakanda and Talokan, like no matter what
right,
the leak is, it's like, oh, so the Thunderbolts are screwed. And
right.
like you said, it's just like the original Suicide Squad going up against a brainwashed Superman kind of thing. But I do think it will be Sentry, and I think it kind of fits because like we have this team and everyone's kind of been wondering like why these five or six characters, but they all deal so heavily with like the government manipulating them and using them and whatever. And I feel like Sentry kind of ties into that, and with Super Soldier Serum to an extent. So I feel like they're definitely going to fit that in there, but I don't know where the vibranium stuff fits in at this point with Sentry as the main villain.
Right.
I'm
Like,
really interested in that.
yeah, because if it was like Hyperion has some stuff with like vibranium, so at least if there was that like sort of connection there. But I think honestly, having him be the more super soldier serum related makes more sense to the actual characters in the Thunderbolt. So whatever it ends up being, it could work either way. Roman, what about
The
you?
way that I Oh yeah, thank you. The way that I see it is there was also leaks about Harrison Ford's General Ross
Yes.
becoming Red Hulk, right? So what I'm thinking is that in the movie, right, they're gonna be having to fight against Sentry or Hyperion, right? And I think like probably towards the end, I don't know, maybe the middle, they'll realize that Sentry, they're probably gonna say like Sentry's evil, right? But Sentry's just gonna be defending himself. And I'm pretty sure Bucky and Yelena will realize, like, wait a second, why are we attacking this dude who was used as an experiment like us? Like, he's used by the government like us. Like, they'll realize that Valentina is wrong. They'll realize, like, what's going on. And I feel like Ghost and maybe Taskmaster will join their side as well. Oh, same with Red Guardian. But I think John Walker will stay loyal to Valentina. Like he'll stay this kind of stoic character because she gave him everything basically. But I think what will happen is that when Thunderbolt Ross turns into Red Hulk for the first time, he's gonna fight Sentry. He's gonna want him for some reason. I don't know. We don't know the details, of course. But I'm pretty sure that's when it's gonna be like a divide between the characters where they're gonna have to pick a side. And I'm sure because Sentry or Hyperion, they're not technically evil, but neither of the other characters that are involved. So I'm pretty sure the real villain of the movie is gonna be Red Hulk, Thunderbolt Ross.
That'd be a really
In
cool setup too for Captain America, New World Order and stuff. Because he's supposed to, like, there's rumors about him being in that too. So that's a really
Yeah,
interesting setup. And we'll have to see if it turns out that exact scene kind of happens. That'll be a great thing we can stitch in the future.
yeah,
for
we'll
sure.
see.
Uh, about the Thunderbolts, like I this is based on like nothing really, so who knows? But I feel like there's got to be more than what we know so far. We know very little, but like the team itself, I feel like there's got to be more. I feel like it's it's interesting for Elena to work with Val again after Val sent her to kill Clint and she didn't do it and kind of figured out that she like didn't want to do that. So I feel like maybe they're planning on turning on Val, or Val has like a secret second team with Zemo and Abomination and some
Mm-hmm.
others, and those two are gonna clash. Maybe Sentry's on that team or something, and those two are gonna clash. She has like a more loyal side, but then why would John walk? Like, there's so many moving pieces that I can't figure out, but I think there's definitely something more to the team itself.
And I'm terrible with actors' names, but the actor who plays Red Guardian, do you guys
David Harbour.
So
Yeah.
he was in an interview recently because he's in this new like Christmas movie that looks super cool, by the way. But he mentioned that he just got like a brand new script for the movie, and like they're still definitely in the writing stage. So I would not be surprised if the actual lineup for the Thunderbolts could change a little bit, and there could be a second team in the movie as well. So I think we will be seeing a lot more characters than just what we've been given so far.
Yeah. I think it might be a Marvel misdirect also. Just like you know, multiverse of madness in a way, like trying to say like, oh yeah, these are going to be the characters, purposely fooling because just like Emmet said, where's Baron Zemo? He
Right.
should be the number one character out of anybody that's on this lineup. He should be there. Him not being in the movie, that would be kind of a disservice to his entire character. That's just me though.
Yeah.
He's got to be there somewhere. There's no way.
Especially if it's a super soldier Superman, like he's gonna be the first one to want to take that guy down. This isn't much for discourse, but we've been getting a lot of teases for Spider Verse. The Twitter and Instagram account keep on dropping random photos, and like it's happened the past couple of days, right? I think they've done 2 or 3 this past week. Hoping a trailer's coming soon. I think isn't it the anniversary of their trailer is that coming up? I think they released it in December, didn't it? The first Spider-Verse teaser, or am I completely blanking on that?
That sounds right.
Or
So
the movie came out
Mhm.
in December. One of the two things. So I don't know if they might be trying to do some sort of anniversary teaser or anything like that. But I would love a new actually not even a new trailer, an official teaser, because we've gotten like that last footage we got was like a clip, which was a great clip. But I think we're all itching for some Spider-Verse content.
100%. I just checked and the trailer came out December 4th. So you're right. It's about to
There.
be the year since the trailer, and I'm so excited for that movie. And yesterday it was either Chris Miller or Phil Lord. One of them said was asked if Tom Holland's Spider-Man could appear, and they were like, "Well, anything's possible in the multiverse."
Yeah.
So like the teases are just ramping up. The pictures, they're talking about it. Like there's got to be something within the next week or two. There's got to be, and I'm gonna go insane when we get that trailer.
Oh, same. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the movie we've been waiting, a long time. It obviously got delayed because of COVID and things like that. And seeing what do they say, six different art styles or something
Yeah,
like
that's gonna be
that in the
super cool.
movie. Yeah, I think that alone, like they're trying to do anything in their power to make it a bigger event than the first one, which I didn't think was possible. But if anything, like those two guys, Phil Lord and Chris Miller, they're madmen's.
Yeah.
So I trust them with the whole Spider-Man IP, in my opinion.
The one thing I
100% agree.
hope is that they go all out with the marketing, because like last time it was really a sleeper hit. Like I mean I watched it because I'm a Marvel fanatic, and I was super excited because it's Spider-Verse too. But like I know that it didn't have like an insane box office, and like people didn't know about it until like after the Oscars and everything, when it won like best animated picture. So I hope they go all out, because I think people are really excited for it. So I hope that they really treat this as like almost like the sort of effort they put into a like live actions like a superhero movie. So let's hope it gets
100%.
the same treatment. Two more quick little things is that Ryan Reynolds talked about how he pitched a Deadpool holiday special to Fox a couple years back. So my question for that is that if you guys if there it was announced that that movie's coming out officially, what is one thing you guys would like to see in a Deadpool holiday special?
I
Oh,
oh I
If I put you guys on the spot, I can say my thing first. I don't want to like,
oh go for it, go for
yeah.
it.
yeah, go for it.
I would love to actually see like the Santa mutant in there somehow, and maybe him either like teaming up with Santa to deliver something or take down some
Oh,
naughty people. Like what some sort of team up with Deadpool and Santa, I think would be hilarious.
That would be amazing. I kind of want like the opposite thing, where like Deadpool is sent on a contract or something and accidentally knocks out Santa on Christmas
Oh,
Eve,
that's even
so he has to
better.
take over for the night and like deliver all the presents.
oh my.
There's so much potential there, and
Uh,
like we were talking about the David Harbour Santa movie coming out, you could make Santa fight just in insane ways.
Absolutely,
So him versus Deadpool would be so fun to see.
absolutely.
Hmm. I think I like that idea of having either like him team up with Santa or he have to deliver the presents himself. But I want like a conflict there. I want like maybe Cable or Domino, one of the two, to be like Santa's not real to him.
Oh,
And
that
he'd
would
be
be.
like, "No, Santa is like over and over again." And then eventually they meet Santa and then they go into that like plot where they have to be Santa Claus for the night. And then he could like jump to the different, Fox X-Men characters. I'll deliver Colossus something, deliver Professor X something. And I don't know, it'd just be fun. It would just be a whole like little adventure with Deadpool and put Domino in an elf costume. I don't know. Like
Kevin Feige,
Perfect.
call us up. We got some great ideas for you.
yeah.
And the last topic to lead us into the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special is that James Gunn announced that the DCEU slate is going to finally be revealed within the next 2 months. So, which is very quickly. So, I mean, essentially means by the end of January. Is there one project that you guys would like to be announced, or one aspect? So, like, for example, I want them to, like, officially declare that Green Lantern will be a big part. Like obviously all want a Superman project, but I think it's given. Green Lantern is still iffy, and I think that he's the real character that's been in the sidelines too long. So I hope that he just says, yeah, we gotta. The project is actually happening. It's not going to be canceled or anything. So that would be what I would like to hear in the new slate.
Yeah, that's very fair. My biggest thing would be a new Superman movie, but like you said, we kind of got that.
Yeah.
I think now is the perfect time to make like Teen Titans
Oh,
trilogy, like
yeah.
give them movies. I think they do work better in a show, but I don't think Titans is working out for me personally.
Yeah, I know.
So I
I'd
think
hope, but yeah.
yeah, there like so many people love these characters. So many people grew up with these characters. I think they have so much potential in like a live action movie universe. I need it. I want it so bad.
Before I go into what I want, I don't know if you saw that. I don't know the actor. I think his name's Finn Wittrock. He's supposed to be in the Green Lantern project as one of the lanterns, and he said that they actually got. I don't know if he said they have the script or if he was on set. It's probably that they got the script, but I'm sure things will change. I don't know if you saw
Yeah,
anything about
I
that.
think, but I think that after the whole like merger and the new stuff, like things keep on like getting
Mhm.
tossed around. So that gives me hope. But I've been burned too many times with this project. So once James Gunn says something about it, then I'll get fully excited. But yeah, every time I hear any sort of
That's
crumb,
valid.
I'm like, yes, Green Lantern, please.
Yeah.
Um, but
My oh,
no,
for
no, no, I
me
too, I
though,
too, yeah.
um, what is it? What is it? Ah, crap. I just lost. Oh, okay. So it's the same as like with the Green Lantern situation. Both Constantine and Zatanna
Oh,
were announced to have their own like separate projects, right? Seemed like they wanted to do a whole like Justice League Dark type of thing eventually. But that's now up to question. But just like you said with Green Lantern, I'd want to see James Gunn at least announce at least one of them. I feel like Constantine, for some reason, is a more possible choice. I know that they're doing the Keanu Reeves
yeah,
thing, but I want like the DCEU Constantine,
right, me too.
DCEU Zatanna. Go into the magic aspect. Like we've got into Shazam. You know, we have Black Adam. Like we're getting more into how magic works in the DCEU. I need to see it. I need to see those two. That's just what I want.
Yeah.
How would you feel if Keanu Reeves is the DCEU Constantine?
I'd be a little disappointed because I don't know. Like it's he was Constantine so long ago. The movie's fine. I don't like hold that movie in the
Yeah.
high regards or anything like that. I think they could make a better one today with a much younger actor. So
Yeah, I think I would agree because I mean everyone loves Keanu Reeves, um, but it's such a shame because I think the CW Constantine show is actually pretty good, and that
Matt Ryan,
the best actor,
mhm,
perfect
perfect,
mhm.
Constantine.
and I love that he showed up in like random CW shows. He played the character I think in the animated universe in like some sort couple of appearances.
Oh,
He was in Harley Quinn, the Harley Quinn show
Yes, that was a
recently.
that's
great
right.
cameo.
That's
I
right.
love that. Yeah. So, yes, but yeah. So if they're going with constant Keanu Reeves, like it will be interesting if they're gonna put him in the DCU or how that's all gonna work. 'Cause we have no clue how continuity is going to go going forward. But that brings us to the end of the major nerd news stuff. So let's kick it off with the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, what we thought about it, and I'm gonna just say I think we should just fully dive into spoilers. I think we don't need to give too many spoiler-free thoughts because it's a short special.
Yeah, I
Um,
agree.
so let's get into it. What did you guys think? Just initial like thoughts, like right away. First of all, actually, yeah. So this is your spoiler warning. If you have not seen the special, go watch it and come back so you can hear what we thought about it. But yes, what did you guys think about it? Initial thoughts.
I think just right off the bat, it's just fun. You know,
Yeah.
it's exactly the Guardians as you know we remember from the past, from the last two movies, even from Infinity War and Endgame. James Gunn has done such a service, like to these characters, to make them household names, to make them so loved. And if any team deserved a holiday special, any family, it was them. And the biggest thing I want to say is that I'm happy that Star Lord finally gets some good news in his life. He's just gone through hell, you know, and having him have a sister. to have real family when yeah, the Guardians are his family. They're all family, but actually having someone who he could call a sister, that's the world. That's the world for him. And I like James Gunn, like he's really done it with these characters. He's made them feel like a part of a greater thing. Like the Guardians are so important in my opinion, and seeing them just be happy makes me happy. Fills me with joy.
100%. Like how you said fun, that's the perfect word to describe it. Like it's just a good time. I had a smile on my face throughout like the whole thing. It's just a wholesome 40-minute little adventure. Early Christmas. It's I loved it so much. And like you said with Peter finally getting good news after everything he's been through, that I don't want to jump around too much, but that scene of Mantis revealing that, oh my God, that hit me hard.
It was so heartwarming. But yeah, also the Christmas stuff, because I want to make sure it gets a good credit. The initial, like, you know how it does like the Marvel like intro, how it did like a bunch of like the comic-y stuff, but then with like the holiday twist, it's like, oh, this is so cool.
Hmm.
Love when they do like little artistic stuff like that. Yeah. Then like all the Christmas music and the decorations, I get is nowhere completely practical, like, or like a majorly practical, because it looked like a real set, or the CGI is like fantastic with it. Like it looked really good.
Yeah, it did. I
Yeah.
agree.
It did, yeah.
But yeah, but just
I
like
I think that I think that I know for the costumes, like in general, they always go practical. Obviously, with Dave Bautista even saying he sits in a chair for like I don't know 8 hours or something to get his
yeah,
makeup on. But I'm pretty sure if the CGI has always been good for Guardians. I've always noticed that. But I think you're right about the set. I think we could look that up later, but it does look practical. And James Gunn always seems that he wants to have that kind of realism, even in a fantasy space world.
exactly, yeah. But then also just as the overall special, I thought it was very cute. It was very fun. I don't think it's like I wouldn't give it like a 10 out of 10. I've been seeing a lot of people say that. I would say it's like a very like it just, but it's a fun story. It's a little corny, like all holiday movies are, but it's heartwarming. It's touching. It is funny. I gotta admit, not every joke landed, but a majority did. It's just a cute holiday story. Got me in the mood for the holidays too. I really enjoyed it.
100%.
Some other funny parts about it. I love when they came to like Hollywood, and when Mantis is like Steve, because like they all and at first I'm like, wait a minute, how do they know? I'm like, oh my god, Endgame, they all like fought together. So I love that she would be like, oh, my old friend, and lunges at the guy. Oh god,
I
that was
love that that means that her and Steve like interacted
right,
at like talked off screen at some point and like she loves him like that.
right.
I love that. So I love Steve Rogers and the fact that he like out of his element talking to a literal alien like and he still made such a great first impression that she saw him and jumped at him. Oh, I
Yeah,
love it.
it
I love it.
was so cute. Yeah.
And I think I could have misunderstood, but did Drax get like was that a Kratos reference or was that just someone said it's the god of war and I didn't know if that was like just about like gods of war in mythology or if
Yeah.
it was Kratos.
Yeah.
Because if it
Yes.
was Kratos, that is great timing.
It really is funny. Yeah. He did.
That
They
is
did
good
call him.
time.
Yeah. And I love the joke. He's
I
on that joke too. When he's beating up the robot at the very end of that, that one got me too. That was great. Yeah. But yeah, Roman, you were gonna say
I will say I think Groot looks a little funny, but I think
he's
just because
very
it's a
goofy.
special, not a movie, he'll look way better in the movie. But it's nice to see him grown up now instead of a teenager. I was
He
kind of getting
bulked
sick of
up.
him being a teenager.
Yeah.
He did. He bulked up. What's
You
he
guys,
been eating?
He was taking some roids off screen. He got the Marvel treatment.
I loved his
Um,
dance at the start when they with the song playing. You just see him in the background going crazy,
yeah.
and then when he got the Game Boy, he did like a little
Yeah.
jump. I love. Oh, it's adorable.
Yeah. And also, did you guys see the post credit scene? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And him just doing like becoming like the Christmas tree was so funny. Also reminded me of that one Community episode, like when they dress up Troy as a Christmas tree too. Uh,
Oh yeah.
yeah, but I thought that was
Uh,
Gru was fun in the background. Even in Rocket 2, obviously both those characters were on the sidelines because like it requires a lot of budget and CGI to do them. But it
mhm.
was fun. We also got to see Cosmo, right? That's the dog. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Mhm.
I was make sure I was correct. Yeah, that
and
was fun.
and she seems like a full-fledged member of the team at this
Oh
point. Like
yeah,
her and Kraglin were
Yeah.
like fully
Mhm.
they're I love that. And it really sets up Guardians 3 nicely because it's been years. Like we saw them Guardians of the Galaxy volume, well, outside of Infinity War Endgame. Like the last time it was a Guardians movie, it was set right after Guardians of the Galaxy. So it's been, well, it gets weird with blipping and stuff, but like for Rocket at least, it's been like a decade.
yeah.
And now we're seeing like the team grow. They have nowhere. They bought
They
nowhere from
bought
the collector.
nowhere.
The
Yeah,
collector's alive. Like there's so much that
That's so
happened.
weird.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, so it's going into that. It's
Oh
like
man.
stuff that it sets up for Volume 3. Gamora's still gone. They don't know where she is. Peter's very sad about that. They bought nowhere. They're turning it into like their own like partial base, but also just like to clean the place up, which I really like. The team seems all together. Has a lot of good cohesion. Kraglin is not perfect with the arrow yet, but he's been practicing. I feel like there was something else that I'm missing. They teased, but that's all I can think of off the top of my
You did.
head. Yeah.
You said the collector's alive,
Oh,
so I
collector's
don't know
alive.
if he's gonna play. Yeah, he's gonna play a role
Yeah.
in the third movie,
Yeah.
but I
I'm
don't. I
having
think there's a lot that that kind of worries me that you brought up with Rocket being around for 10 years, because how long does he have left, like his life? That's, I know that's getting into a whole different territory, but that has me really, really concerned for that character. Like, I don't want to talk about it because he's my favorite member, but oh my gosh.
like this was such a wholesome special. It was cute. It was fun, but they're gonna rip our hearts off,
Oh
our
God,
hearts
yeah,
out in a couple months, and like I'm terrified. I
yeah.
We already know that some we know it's not gonna be the same. Like after this, the Guardians are done as we know them. So I don't know. I'm not ready. It's gonna be heartbreaking. Whatever happens.
Yeah. I would not like say that anyone is safe. I think Rocket is for sure. Dave Bautista has been like very ominous too that he could be done with the character, so he could die. Like I'm very worried for everyone's life in that next movie. So I'm glad at
True.
least we got this nice little special where everyone's having fun and stuff.
True.
And I love that they put Mantis in the front of this whole special because I think James Gunn
Hmm.
mentioned that she wasn't utilized enough in Volume 2, and he really wanted her to get the spotlight, and she really did. She first of all, really cool fight scene with her doing it to sleep when she's like fighting the cops. That was fun, but it's also cute just to see her how she like feels about Peter and how like the secret about being his sister and everything, which would be a really fun dynamic to see in the future movie. Roman, you mentioned it to us off podcast, but they showed like some clips and stuff in like the like Marvel like behind the scenes thing, and then we saw like a photo of Mantis's mom and Ego,
Yeah.
so probably
Hmm.
see that sort of flashback in Volume 3. But yeah, what do you guys think about Mantis in this movie?
I'm just happy to see her fleshed out more. She's absolutely earned more screen time. And like when she was jumping on through Kevin Bacon's hallway, like it's so cool to see her get actual action scenes. And like you said, the fight with the cop, she's using the candy cane to trip people and put them to sleep.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Yeah, I will. I have to give an apology to Mantis because way back when I started TikTok, I made a video when all of the all the girls teamed up in Endgame,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, what the hell is Mantis gonna do? I was like, what is she gonna? She's gonna put people to sleep. I made a whole video about it. I'm gonna have to find it and make an apology. But I apologize to Mantis because she really showed up. Yeah, she also her actress is very good.
Oh yeah.
I think just like in Volume 2, she wasn't utilized enough, even though that was like she's supposed to be a big character in that. But seeing her now, seeing how she's fun, she's a fun character to be around. Seeing how she bounces off tracks, and overall just her skill, she's a valued member. Like I really underestimated her capabilities, and it makes me really excited to see what she will be able to do in Guardians 3. Because I don't know if you guys played the Guardians of the Galaxy game, but Mantis, like obviously in the comics, they made her a combination of her comic character and the movie character, where she's a badass. Like she knows how to fight. She's supposed to be super super skilled. So seeing what they could do with her in 3, and like I don't know what's going to go on with Adam Warlock, but I feel like they might have to put him to sleep. That seems like the easiest way to take down anybody is to put them to sleep. And it's weird. One last thing I'll say, but it's weird that she technically had such a huge role that she was supposed to play in Infinity War, but she still felt like she wasn't a character in that movie, which I'm glad now seeing in the special that Mantis is just she's all out there. Yeah. I love that.
It was great. Yeah. And she was funny, emotional. She was great. Yeah. You're gonna say Emmet.
Not that it really like needed an explanation or anything, but I feel like her being confirmed as Ego's daughter, kind of like explains how strong. Like she had Thanos sleeping for, not like for a little bit, like long enough for them to do what they had to do almost. So I feel like it really explains how she's so strong.
Right. Yeah.
And hopefully we see her get even stronger in Guardians 3.
Also, just more about the actual special. Kevin Bacon just being himself and the major character of the special, so funny. Like the fact that they're like trying to literally abduct him and they put him in a box. That might have been one of the funniest scenes because it is such a cute scene when we saw the Christmas lights and the fake snow. I'm like, oh, this is Christmas. This is amazing. And then you see the box being rolled out, and Peter himself's like, oh God, what happened? Because he sees the box shaking. That is one of the most cute and also funny scenes in the whole special.
Then Peter's like, no, that's human trafficking. And Drax's like, yes! But I love how when he was told to be here, he was like, oh, I'm Batman. Like, that's the second time Batman's been brought up in the MCU now. Yeah. It's so funny.
That was such a good scene, yeah. Also, I love the little dance sequence. Reminded me of the Suicide Squad 2 being James Gunn's project. So, like, the fun little club scene was cute. The music was all great. I even liked the initial song when they're all like giving wrong stories about Christmas that are like based off of like Christmas movies. Like they mentioned the dentist who like wanted to be like something else, who's like obviously a reference to the Island of Misfit Toys, like that like old Santa movie. I don't know if you guys know that Christmas movie. But yeah, so they did a little like stuff like that. It was a fun, cute song. I really liked that one. Yeah.
One, not to go too off topic here, but Rocket finally got Bucky's arm.
That was so funny.
That's so good. How did Nebula get the arm?
I don't know the lore implications of that, but the fact that like it was the vibranium one, it was the gold, like everything, like.
At first I was like, oh, they'll probably do like the classic Winter Soldier. It's not like he's using that, but no, that is his like current arm. I like to imagine Nebula just asked him, went down to Earth and was like, hey, can I borrow your arm? And he's like, oh yeah, I got tons of extras now. I'm like, boys with Wakanda, we're good.
I don't even think she would have asked. I think she would be like, give me your arm. And then he'd be like, huh? Like, give me your arm or I'll take it off.
Oh, God.
I doubt...
Oh, no, you go.
No, you go ahead, sorry.
Oh, okay, because I'm kind of going off topic. I think special presentations are the future of Marvel. Like, in a way, like, they're just enough. Like, they're not too long where you're, like, getting bored. They're just enough, and especially to do interesting things like Werewolf by Night and having a holiday special. Who knows what we can get in the future?
100%. I think it's a really good balance. A lot of the TV shows, sometimes there's just, like, it feels like there's not enough story and they're kind of stretching some stuff out. Sometimes it feels like the opposite and everything's moving too fast. I feel like specials is like a really great way where if they know the story is only going to last them about an hour, just put it in a special. We get a new character introduced, maybe a new story. Like, I love it. I'm all for it.
And like, especially after the honeymoon phase is done, like I think a lot of the MCU Disney Plus projects, I think I don't like them as much because like every week, like everyone talking about it is like so exciting and so fun, but like the only two like in hindsight I think I really do actually I'll say three I really do love are I actually really liked WandaVision still even with like the finale being not up to standard what everyone was expecting, but it would be WandaVision and then also Werewolf by Night and the Holiday Special are probably those are my favorite like projects, and I think the rest are like fine, but nothing has like wowed me or that I really love. I would really like love to rewatch. So I definitely think that this Marvel presentation is a great avenue to go with. Like and it doesn't stretch it out too long, and it gives like opportunities for new characters. And we've gotten rumors that like Doctor Doom and Silver Surfer are be introduced like in these, and like I don't know how credible those are, but I do think it's a great way to just introduce characters. It's almost like one shot comics that they do like weekly. Like it would be a great thing. I hope that we see a lot more of.
100%. And like, I mean, the Guardians are one thing. Like Guardians are huge, but like Werewolf by Night, no one's really gonna go to the movies and watch a Werewolf by Night. I shouldn't say that. It's Marvel. It's not gonna draw in like a huge crowd.
Right, yeah.
But throw it on Disney Plus. There's already millions of people on Disney Plus. They might check it out for Halloween, new horror kind of thing by Marvel, and then boom, Werewolf by Night shows up in, I don't know, Moon Knight season 2 or Midnight Suns or Blade or whatever, and they immediately recognize that character. I think it's a really good way to introduce characters.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anything else about the holiday special we should touch on. Oh yes.
Oh, and do you guys notice the certain cameo? Chugging something.
Oh.
Mark
What are you
Hamill.
talking about?
What?
Oh, what?
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
Who?
I noticed the
Wait, now I'm
bartender.
worried that it wasn't Mark
That would
Hamill.
really funny.
Now I'm worried.
I noticed the
I
the
swear.
bartender that he was I forget the actor, but he was funny. He was in the Suicide Squad too. He played Javelin, but
Oh,
Oh,
Flula.
Yes.
Flula Borg.
Yes.
Flula Borg, yeah.
and this is like the third or fourth actor that I have not been able to say the name. This is a terrible
Oh
way
my
to start a
God.
reputation. Was it for Mark
Okay, I got a
Hamill?
picture.
Was it?
Yeah, it was.
Was it him?
I'm
Oh my-
99.999. Here, I'll drop it in general. I don't know if.
I can always
There's any way
I
to,
can
like-
edit it and post and put it up so people
Oh,
can
okay,
see.
cool.
Wait.
I'm feeling.
Oh, that-
It is right.
I don't want to like stake my reputation on it, but that's highly that looks a lot like him, like with the facial hair and everything. Oh my
Is it
God.
not? Now I'm questioning it. I was more confident. Now that I'm looking at it for like more than a second.
Do you remember the context of what that scene was? Was it like a long? I completely missed that.
He was only there for like I think it was like right around the time they took Kevin Bacon out of the box. They cut to a guy just chugging, and I was like, "Oh my God, that's Mark Hamill." But now I really don't know.
I don't think they would have
Amazing.
focused on him if it wasn't. You know,
True, that's true.
That's so funny. That's a great
I'm
one.
just-
There are a lot of cameos in this. Now that I think about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna imagine that Santa until they disprove
I think
it.
that's
Going with it.
the only logical pathway to go. Any other final thoughts before? I'll say we should all just get like a final number score. But before we do that, any other little notes? We mentioned the Hollywood part. We mentioned them breaking and entering into Kevin Bacon's house.
The one. We see
I
John Cena.
do
and
want to
Mar-
say. Oh, you said John Cena?
We see John Cena and Margot Robbie are actors in the MCU and a couple other people.
Oh yeah, that was so
It'd be
funny.
really funny if they inevitably join the MCU in a role.
You know, I would just love how Kevin Bacon played himself. I would love for more celebrities just to show up as themselves in the future.
Or like
Who
Megan Thee
knows what
Stallion
project?
and She-Hulk too.
Yeah, like Megan Thee Stallion.
100%.
Exactly. Yeah, I just think, not every actor has to like have this big role, but if someone's on the set one day or someone's nearby, like pop them in. Be like, "Oh, I don't know, like you said Margot Robbie, like what if Margot Robbie just showed up like randomly like in a Wonder Man? Like, Wonder Man's an actor.
Oh, what
What
that's a
if
great
Margot Robbie
project
just,
to do
like,
that.
Exactly, just like showed up and they're like, "Oh, oh, ask Margot over here," and they'd be like, "Margot, this just appears,"
That'd be a great cameo. Yeah, that's actually a good
So
idea.
much potential there.
That's a great idea. Yeah, but that's we all thought about it. So I would say like for my number, I would if we're not doing decimals, if we're just going to do like 1 out of a 1 through 10 out of 10, I would probably say I would give it an 8 because I think I like it more than a 7, but I would say a solid 8.
I would say an 8 as well in my ranking. I think it's very solid. I actually think it's in a in an essence, I know it's shorter, but I liked it more than Guardians 2. Like I think I would come back and rewatch this every holiday season. While Guardians 2 I have difficulty watching all the way just cuz some parts of it are not good. But overall, yeah, it's a very good project, but it's not perfect. It's not a perfect project.
I'm going solid 9 out of 10. It was everything I wanted. I really don't have any like complaints about it. It was just pure wholesome Christmas fun with like the best family in the MCU. All I could ask for.
It's a very wholesome watch, and I'm sure like anyone who watches it is gonna enjoy it. And it's very isolated too, so you don't have to watch anything prior. Yeah, but this has been our unofficially titled podcast. We will hopefully be back next week talking about more nerd news, and we'll see what else. But we are planning on hopefully doing this weekly, and for this week it is going to be on this channel, but we are going to be creating a new dedicated channel, and we have plans to put this on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and a lot more places you can watch this. So if you like any of our channels and you like this show, you'll have plenty of places to watch it. So everyone, where can the people find you?
I'm on everything, just isuperebba, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube.
Same. I'm on everything: YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Romans Empire.
I'm Yanni's Nerdverse everywhere: Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, all the places. So thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you guys for all being here. I had a blast doing this. Can't wait to see you guys again next week to see what we're talking about. Then everyone, have a good one.
Thank you for listening.
Bye.